Welcome to Earl Stewart on Cars with Earl and Nancy Stewart. Reach them with your questions at 877-960-9960.
Whenever I go to a car dealership, I always feel like I'm about to be pounced on by a pack of wolves, people waiting outside the dealership. And, I was wondering if you had any strategies for if you're looking to work with a salesperson who is just kind of a nice, easygoing person, how would you go about it? Would you call the main desk and say, who would you recommend? Would you call the sales manager? Would you call the owner? How would you go about finding that individual within a car dealership?
Be proactive. Instead of walking into Wolfpack Chevrolet, you can actually get on the phone, call Wolfpack Chevrolet, and speak to the head wolf, and tell him you want a pacifist. Although your idea of talking to the manager is not a bad one, the dealers generally like to pair the salesperson with the customer. And usually it's not that way because it's a free-for-all. As you say, the Wolfpack, you drive onto the lot, you drive up to the dealership, and they're hanging out there waiting. It's called who can get to you first. And it's really an obnoxious 20th century process that really shouldn't be existing today, but it does. So you could call and ask to speak to the general manager, say, listen, I want to buy a car. I'm qualified, I can finance the car, or I can lease the car. I'm ready to buy this week or next week. I just want to speak to someone that speaks my language. You might want to speak to a woman. A lot of women prefer women salespeople. In fact, men prefer women salespeople. So you could ask for a woman. You might be Hispanic. You might want a Hispanic salesperson because you'd like to be able to deal in your native language. You can pick and choose. You might want a young one. You might want an older one. But I would call a general sales manager and say, this is the type of person I'd like to talk to. Some people say, I'd like to speak to your top salesperson. I'm not sure that's a good idea. You're not really sure why he sells so many cars, but some people do, assuming that the top salesperson sells cars for less. And sometimes they do. And if you have somebody you don't like, this happens, go to the manager and say, listen, nothing against John, but he and I just don't have the right chemistry. We're not hitting it off. I'd like to speak to somebody else. And end it right there. Because if you don't do that and he doesn't give you another salesperson to talk to, you're going to go to a different dealership. He's going to lose your business.